Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. Today, we have an amazing guest we're going to get to here in just a second. She is a osteopathic, I think I'm pronouncing this right, therapist, which would basically be a doctor, I believe, in the United States. I believe I remember confirming that last time we talked. But her and her husband have a practice, and she is also building her online business using the skills that she's learned here and through this journey to do affiliate marketing and to, she may already have, we're going to find out, or be planning one day to package her own information and sell a course, a coaching program, something of that nature. We'll find out. It's been a little while since she's been on the show, so please help me welcome back Care Bricker. What's up, Care?
Hey.
Morning and welcome back to the show.
Thanks. I can't believe it's been 4 times.
Yeah, wow.
It's wild.
Your last time on the show here, September 19th of last
fall. Yeah.
Was the last time you were on. So tell us all the things that's happened since then. And tell us what sticks out for you. You know, what has happened, since then. And, Salt and Pepper Inn as am I saying this right, osteopathic therapist, you would want to do something like this in the first place?
Because I'm absolutely nuts, Dave. That's why. I'm just kidding. Happy New Year, everyone. We're going to do this. 2025 is going to be a good year. For those of you who missed the other interviews, pretty much to put it really as short as I possibly can, my husband and I are both in this industry. In Canada, we're not doctors, so it's private practice, self-employment. And we knew that eventually we would want to do our own kind of packages, teaching courses, I don't know, maybe even a mastermind, we'll see, of some sort. And we just didn't have the tools in our industry to learn that because we don't do that. We treat bodies. And so I started outsourcing and looking for that because especially with the pandemic, we really learned that like trading time for money is wonderful, especially for us. We're well educated. We make a good income, but if we are not at the office, you don't make money. And when you mix in kids and illnesses, you can hear I've got a frog in my throat right now. Like, it just throws a curveball. So you need another stream of income in whatever industry you're in. Now, I decided when I first started learning this through Legendary that I was going to do the wealth niche because I didn't want to do anything quite yet for my profession. But 2025 is the year I will start doing something, which is exciting. And I don't know what that looks like yet. We'll get there. It's a long year. But yeah, it's been great. I can't even believe that there are still people out there who don't do this, but that's besides the point. I think right now, as someone who truly has, as a complete beginner, dove into the digital space, and also a business owner, I think that you are so much behind if you are not understanding that you need to get online with your business, no matter what it is. So those are my thoughts for 2025, everybody. Get your butts online.
Yeah, I mean, what are you waiting for? I've been beating this drum for a long time. And hopefully now people are starting to realize that it doesn't matter what your profession is or like what you do outside of this. There's going to be a time that comes, even if you're comfortable now, that you won't be, and you wish you had these skills, and you wish you had your own audience, and you wish you had your own email list, and you wish you had just your own business. That, I literally just got my hair cut, as I do about every other week here in my house. It happened actually right there in that little spot in my kitchen right there. And my barber was once again, after 5 or 6 years, reminding me, he's become a friend, why the hell he wants to have his own business and never wants to work around another hairstylist again, and will never settle for the amount of money that he, just all the things. And it's like, what happened here was that we got hit by a flood 2 months ago, and it flooded his salon that he worked in. It happened to be in a blessing in disguise because now it has forced him to branch out. Now, he's working in another barber shop right now, but he's once again faced with that same thing of, you know, I don't know my time here. I'm not making enough money to be able to buy a house. His mother is coming from Cuba here in 2 weeks, 69 years old, first time she's ever been out of the country. I mean, what's my point? Whether you're a barber or a doctor or somebody who just rolled out of a trailer park and you're crawling out of a stone, out from under a stone, you need to learn these skills. They're not going away and they're not going to become less in demand, right?
That's exactly it. And it makes me sad when I see people who have such potential. I mean, everybody's got potential, but you sometimes come across these people, you're going, why aren't you doing this? And I could never do this. And to echo kind of what Kim said on Monday, it's like, you're right. If that's your attitude, you can't do this then, because you have to be open to it. And it's so funny because I've said this a few times on different interviews with you here, but literally less than a dozen people in my life know I do this, and all of them are under the baby boomer age. They are not the baby boomer. And I know, and it's not that I'm fearful. I'm actually kind of ready for it. Like, come on, baby, let's do this. But they just haven't found me because they're not online, or some of them aren't, or not in that capacity anyways, because they don't get it. And it's sad because they never really had this opportunity. And I guarantee you, Grandma Susie, who is in the kitchen working her butt off with 8 kids and doing this and doing that, if she knew she had the chance to make money, she would have done it, because Grandma Susie had the work ethic and could fit it in. So to me, I don't know where I was really going with it, but it drives me crazy when people don't really realize what you could be doing. Yeah, and what you have, and everybody's
grateful. Damn it, it's what she's saying.
That's right. And heck, I want to listen to Grandma Susie. What does she got to say?
I know. I wish more wise people would share more in their content, and I wish those of you right now who are struggling with creating content and launching and getting started, I wish that you would just talk into your phone and just tell us what you know. Like, stop putting so much pressure on yourself for it to be perfect and for it to be all like this final finished product comparable to somebody who's been doing it for 10 years. Like, just hit, when you open your phone, you're going to open your camera right there, and then you're going to put it on video, and that red button, just hit it and start talking.
And then delete it if you don't like it, but start practicing.
Yeah. No. You had to have some learning curve, comfort, increase over time. You got more comfortable with it. What was your experience putting yourself out there? I've asked you this before. I can remember it. But just because we're talking about it, tell us what skeletons did you have in the closet in terms of what was going on with you inside, but we may not have known if we were just watching the video.
Everybody who knows me thinks I got it all together. They're like, oh yeah, she got a great career. She got her kids. She got a great house, like blah, blah, blah. She's always put together. No. I am just like you. I don't have and so as Dave said, like, I had no clue what I was doing when I walked in. I come from healthcare. Like, I know a little bit of business stuff from like a brick and mortar standpoint about paying taxes and stuff like that, but not online stuff. But I also, from a back point, like, people would look at me and go, well, I did a little bit of theater and musical theater growing up. So people, oh, well, that was easy for you. And I did some athletics. Oh, okay, you're ready for the stage. That camera is real scary, Dave. And so when I first started filming, I mean, you kind of question yourself, like, who am I? Why would they listen to me? And I don't know, but the reality is you chase and you fight those demons, and you get to the bottom of it. And at the end of the day, people do want to listen to you and me, because we're normal, regular people. We put our pants on the same way. We wipe our butt the same way. We shower at the same time. We're all human. And so we want to be able to relate with humans online. And so if anyone is actually scared about the camera, just know that someone out there is like wishing they could do what you are doing. And even if you think you're doing a bad job, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so much more relatable when you're not picture perfect. Picture perfect is so old school.
Yeah, and that's an easy concept to kind of like be like, yeah, I understand that, but it's hard in practice because we are so used to looking in, like, just making sure, do we look good before we leave? And you can still do that with this, but you have to realize that people care so much more about what you say versus how you look or what's going on around you when
Or
you
the
say it.
color of your captions.
Oh
Like
God,
who cares?
right. Yeah, I mean, these things I'm glad you brought that up because of the anxiety of hitting post or pressing record. What we do is we get into, a, um, oh, yeah, let me fix this before I do, or let me fix that. Let me change this. Let me go back in and mess around with that to avoid just doing the thing that's uncomfortable, which may be, recording a video or whatever, or posting it. Um, those things don't matter. The color of you hear marketers say, oh, well, your headline matters if it's red versus blue. Okay. Not at the beginning. It doesn't. Not
Nope.
at the beginning. It doesn't. I mean, I could impress you with so much marketing split tests that I've done over the years, and I could get out statistics, and I could really make you think that I know what I'm talking about and I'm really smart and I've really but the truth is that you don't need to know any of that shit really to launch. You need to know the basics of kind of what we teach in the challenge. And then if you invest in some of our other training, there's some more detailed step by step about how to set things up and to understand what you're doing and have a plan. But look, I've also seen people throw spaghetti at the wall. And so all of that complicated, I'm gonna overanalyze every little detail of every video and every page of my funnel and all this. None of it matters. It's all wasted time, and it's all just procrastination because you just don't want to walk through whatever silly little uncomfortable thing. That I told a story last night, and I'm not going to tell the entire story right now because honestly, it's too personal of somebody's business for me to share. I know that's juicy. I know you're like, damn it.
I got my teacup.
It was basically about like somebody that I know and love who's avoided doing something for 25 years. And it was really just a simple thing and how it affected me growing up. Okay. And every single day we do that in our business. It's little tiny things that we avoid doing, and we do it in life too, because we're afraid of something that we've made up in our head, and we could have just as easy thought of some amazing outcome that got us excited to do it, but we're thinking about the worst case scenario. We're catastrophizing the situation. And we do that, and I see people doing that every single day here, both in life, but also in this business. You can see it because people are like, yeah, I haven't posted a video or I haven't done this. And it's like, why? Well, because the procrastination, the anxiety of putting yourself out there has led you to taking yet another course or starting yet something else. And you feel really productive and you've spent money and but you've not actually put any rubber to the road. You've just done a bunch of getting the car ready to get ready. Put gas in it. You got a brand new car sitting there. It's like, put gas in it. It's almost like, oh, let's change the oil again. It's never been on the road. We've never drove it, but let's change the oil again. It sounds crazy, but we do it, right, Care? We do it.
I'm laughing because I literally did that yesterday. Like yesterday. I'm not even joking. And this is a perfect example. So the reality is you take the education, you get going, you're ready to launch, and then you procrastinate. So that is absolutely, you're never going to be fully ready to press go because you learn as you go. That's what we're talking about. You throw shit at the wall and you see what sticks sometimes. It's just the way it goes. You have to get your feet in there. You have to get your foot in the game or your whatever in the game, skin in the game. That's the word. Get the skin in the game and start going, right? And you'll figure it out. But yesterday, literally, I haven't done a carousel ever in my life. Yes, I know, crazy. I've been doing this for 2 years, everybody. I've never done a carousel, and I was putting it off and putting it off, and all my digital people in my DMs are going, get your carousel up. And I finally put it up. But do you know, I have had 3 days off as a sickie. I have been putting it off for 3 days because I was just, I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I was nervous it wasn't going to be done right. It didn't look right. Well, guess what? I posted it and I'm finally like, what the heck was that all about? So for the people out there who are like, I don't know if I'm ready yet. You're never going to be ready. Sometimes you just have to just freaking go. Like, and enough with this and just go. Actions.
Yeah. How has this began or already changed your life? Like, what are the things that doing this has brought to you and given to you, and yeah, how has it changed the way that you live your life?
Well, it is really interesting. It's a kind of a layered question, but there's so many aspects. So for me personally, I have definitely gained confidence. I've gained some skills. I know a lot of stuff now, which is kind of crazy. I knew nothing 2 years ago. So, and that's, that's been layered as I've gone, right? You don't just know it all. So that's number one. I don't give a flying F about anything anymore. Like I don't care. You want me to hop on camera? Sure. Hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I say that, and then I didn't want to post that carousel. But generally speaking,
Mm.
whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Someone could come up to me in public and say, hey, are you that girl online? And I would say, yeah, I am. Do you want to see? Whatever. Okay, so that's me personally. Business-wise, my brain has completely shifted. In fact, since I've learned this, my husband and I have completely digitized our entire business. So from online booking to charting and all that kind of stuff. Because like, what the heck? Why weren't we doing that? Okay. And just how I view things. So first off, it has absolutely allowed me to kind of pull back and slow down and really realize like, hey, how much you can actually do in a day. Like it's kind of crazy. There's a lot of hours in a day. But also just like how people are. And to echo kind of what I was just saying earlier too, it's like some people who I do talk to that I do this and they're personal friends are not in this world. They're like, I could never do that. I'm like, yeah, probably not if that's your attitude. Well, and then they kinda go, because 'cause I'm usually a cheerleader, like, totally a cheerleader, and they're like, "What? What?" I'm like, "Well, why couldn't you?" And they go, "Well, I don't know what I would do." Okay, well, here's some ideas I think you should do, but they're my ideas, not yours. And then it always goes back, "I could never do it." Why? You are so happy and thrilled for me and my success and cheering me on. Why can't you do that for yourself? I don't understand. But these people, everyone just has this fear of judgment. And I would say, overall, as a blanket answer to your question, I, I don't I don't care anymore. I don't have a fear of judgment. I mean, I do a little bit, but not really. I want to do things well always, and I never want to be a jerk about anything. But my fear of judgment that I had before of like always making sure I looked perfect on camera and had spacing and stuff like that. Nah, I don't got time for that. I got spills to clean up, Dave. Right before I got on this call, I had spills and kids were running late, and it was I don't got time for judgment anymore. So
Yeah.
that's what's changed in my life.
Yeah, I love that, and it's true with almost everybody that I've interviewed and talked to, is that we just have so many fears when we start something. It's so exciting to start a business, but you don't understand the challenges that come with it until you start it. You're just not going to. But you also, behind each one of those challenges is the growth, that is the thing. It's like people run into the hard thing and they're like, oh, turn around quickly, run, this must be the wrong way, and it's like, dead end, and it's like, nope, that was the challenge, that was the breakthrough. It's there. That's if you ran towards the problems or the challenges and just walk through them, and actually and we're intentional about that, your whole life would change. And the main way that it would change is that you would just begin to trust yourself and believe that you can handle anything. And right now, most of you don't believe that you can handle anything. And that's why you feel and you think that you're not equipped. You feel and you think that you're inferior or inadequate in some way. How do I know? Because I've felt all these feelings before.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still do. And so when I say you, I mean we, but I'm saying you because I want you to hear this as you're listening, my friends. You think that you are inadequate. You think that you are inferior. You believe that this is harder than it is, and that Care or I or somebody else has some secret quality or ingredient or characteristic, or we were given something. And it's really, the difference is,
Oh, you froze on my end. Dave is frozen. If anyone else can hear me, I will echo what he's saying if it's frozen for them. But it's really interesting because for me, so many people don't think they're good enough to do this. And I look back to my days of being a student, and in my education, you have to actually um, be a student until you graduate, obviously, but you have to work with the public until you're able to do that. And so many people in my industry often look at me and go, how did you manage to have such a successful outcome from your thesis? I had to do a thesis. And it's so interesting because the reality is I didn't know more than anyone else. I had just done my schooling. The reality is I was just who I was, and I was relatable. Oh, hi, Dave. I'm just telling a
continue,
story.
please. I'm just over here having technical difficulties.
It's okay. I'm just talking about how when I was in school, so many people look at me now as a professional. We're like, oh, you had such a successful thesis. I had to do a thesis for school, and you have to treat people. And it went really, really well. And a lot of people, even my jury that I had to defend in front of, which I won't get too complicated with it all, but they kind of said, why do you think you had such success in your thesis? And I said, because I was me. I don't know any other skills. I haven't been practicing as an osteopathic manual therapist at all. I haven't graduated yet, but I was me. I was relatable, and my patients and felt heard. And so when I translate that over to the digital space, the reality is you need to be relatable, you need to be kind, and you need to actually just be you. That's really it. And listen to people and try to help people. And that's really all this is. It translates quite perfectly. So that was my story.
Yeah, all of the customer support experience that you have, all of the previous sales experience or parenting experience, or volunteer work that you may have done, all of it's like this particular business model that we're teaching you here, which is about selling information. That's kind of the primary. There's lots of ways to make money online, but these are the ways that we teach. It really is it's a people business. You're educating, informing, and helping people with specific problems, but you're not doing it with a physical product. You're doing it with some piece of knowledge, right? Some sort of coaching or education. And that is about dealing with people. And when people are learning something, or they have a problem that your information is going to solve, the best ingredient, and I'm only piggybacking on what you're saying here and validating it, the best ingredient, even more so than the information being the absolute best information in the world, is that you're kind when you give it to them, and you're compassionate and you're helpful, right? Because then they're actually going to do it and use it, versus even if it's the best information in the world, but you were horrible at delivering it, it's it may not land, or they may be offended, or they may not like you, so they don't listen to you. So yeah, it's like all that experience, and I've been saying this for years, Care, all the experience that you have in life is valuable here. You can use it here. It's not it's that job that you've had for 20 years that you don't want to be in anymore. Here's how to think like an entrepreneur. Instead of being like, I hate that job, I hate that boss, and I can't believe I wasted 20 years there. how about that 20 years is not what I want to do for the next 20 years, but that 20 years there was an investment, and it prepared me for the next chapter. And now I have tons of skills that I can use around customer service or sales or whatever it is that you did that I can bring into here. That it's funny that you said that as I dropped off, because I'm so in alignment with that way of thinking.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and there was a guy on this podcast who is the CEO of some management company, and what he does is he's like what's the right word? But anyways, they're agents for people who are kind of influencers or online or whatever. And he was saying the number one thing and number one type of client they're looking for are the people who actually have life experience, are real, and have some sort of professional knowledge, which, like, yes, you can know nothing, but there's also a lot of people online who actually have so much education or knowledge in whatever field they're in. And those types of media bases are looking for people like you because of the era of the pandemic and misinformation and all this kind of stuff. They're looking for you, and there is money to be made, people. Like, there is money. And as we've been saying, as long as you are informational, you are kind about it, and you're educational and entertaining, and show your personality a little bit, oh my God, the options are limitless. It's wild.
And it's interesting that you bring that up, because I've not actually heard of that, of talent managers scouting social media influencers.
Yep.
Like, or just even trying to find people with life experience that they could turn into influencers, right? Like, I want you all to think about that for a second.
Like a hockey scout, people.
Influencers, but think about this for a second. Influencers are now being grown, recruited. They are being turned into damn near employees, and people are trying to employ them. Think about that. Now, friends, if you're not careful, your ass is going to end up as an employee doing this rather than learning the skills and having your own business. And I've heard of some people doing this, actually, where they've signed up with these agencies, and these agencies, help you out with your marketing or whatever, but they take 50% of everything. Friends,
Oh yeah.
I've had a couple of actually legendary students, pretty successful clients who have come through here who did something like that and sort of said, hey, look, I regret doing that, and I backed out of it. Look, I'm sure there's a good fit for everybody, and I'm sure there's some agencies that are better than others. My point here is that, wow, what an opportunity to learn the skill and own it yourself.
Exactly.
Versus other people are now coming along and are saying, this is such a huge opportunity. I'll manage it for you. You just get on and you're going to do all the content, and it's going to be your face, and you're going to be your personality, but I'll manage it for you behind the scenes. I'm also going to manage 20 or 50 or 100 other, but you just keep doing the work and posting those videos. It's like, come on, guys, wake up.
Wake up and learn the skills.
Learn the skills and understand that you can own your own business doing this, and that if you don't and you just keep dilly-dallying around, people are going to come along, and they're not going to want to hire you or partner with you if you're not doing anything. But people are just going to start this industry of online content creation and online education is going to evolve so much over the next 5 years. You guys just have no idea and I don't either, with artificial intelligence and the way in which people are now looking at content as a product. It's a product. It's literally a product. It is our product. What we're doing right now, streaming this, is the product now. You sitting in front of your screen watching that Netflix series, and that's all you need to be happy. You don't need anything else. You don't need a gadget or a gizmo. As long as you got that phone to scroll occasionally throughout the show and then snap out of it and be like, oh shit, what'd I miss, right? From one screen to the next, that's the product. So if you can wrap your head around that, everybody, that thing that you're literally afraid to post or that's an issue for you is the product, is the digital gold that people are trying to figure out. It's almost like, this is the analogy, Care, of the agencies hiring marketers, and it's like, that'd be like me going out to a bunch of dudes and chicks mining and digging gold. Think about the gold rush. I go out to this field in California, and I see a bunch of people digging and mining gold. And I go up to all of them and I tap them on the shoulder and I say, hey, you just keep digging and pulling that gold up. I'll be back here if you need me, and I'll try to figure out how to get some of this gold out of here. You'll pay me 50% of everything that we make, okay? I'll be right back. And then he goes over and he taps on the next shoulder, right? And it's like, only because sometimes you guys think that it's just the content creation, but it's also the back end. How do I monetize my content, which are the business models that we teach, right? How do I monetize my content so I actually can own my business? And I do know how to take the content that I create and actually make money from it. And that's the goal, right, Care? That's the goal.
And that's the reality. I mean, you can transfer that to so many different analogies, right? You're either going to work for someone or you're going to work for yourself. And at the end of the day, if you do not learn these skills going forward, you're so behind, and it makes me sad for people. And there's just so much opportunity out there for people to do this, that I just want you to encourage people to just start. That's it. Just start and learn a little bit at a time. Just see the internet a different way, because the reality is, as Dave was saying, is like, AI is coming, and it's coming in hot. And the biggest thing about the strength that we all have to take when we have an education like Legendary provides, we are authentic. We are real. And that's how we are going to stand out from the crowd and be successful. Is, yeah, AI is great, and it's going to be probably really cool and scary all at the same time, but it's not real. We are real, and people buy from real people. And that is the reality of it. So I just want to encourage people that you can do this, and you just have to start. Baby steps. Just start. Open your minds. That's all. We got to have a hat throw.
That's all, folks. That's it, Care. It's always refreshing to speak and catch up with you. I love what you're doing. Everybody loves your energy, by the way. I hope you have a chance to go back and read some of the comments. And I know you see them every day on your stuff too. It's awesome. Love somebody who I'm so glad decided to share your wisdom and your information and your energy with the world, because I benefit, we all benefit, and it just makes the internet a better place, and it's made your life better as well, and that's called a win-win. And so,
got it.
With that being said, my best to your family. Happy New Year. Okay, keep up the great work, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have fun in Austin.
We certainly will. All right, Care. All right, my friends, you can follow her at money.mama.care. Money.mama.care on Instagram. Like she said earlier, and I was reminded, her last time was September 2024. This was her 4th time on the show. It's always cool to be able to see people's journeys and, listen to them over time at how they've grown and what's changed. And that's one of the things that I love about, our community, is that people are flying the nest, but they come back to, let us know how it is out there. And now I've done over 1,000 interviews of different clients who have come through this process. And I would love to interview you one day as well. So get into the challenge and get into our education and learn everything that you can learn, and let us help you launch and become a leader in your life and in your business, in your market, in your niche. And we'd love to meet you in person as well. You can go to legendarymarketer.com/enroll, ENROLL, legendarymarketer.com/enroll, and start in any one of our courses. We've got 2 challenges and our blueprints. The big thing that's happening right now is we're all meeting in Austin, Texas on January 31st for the most epic mastermind in online marketing. It's happening again in Austin, Texas, January 31st. If you can grab your ticket and you want to come, now's the chance to do it, like now, today. And once you register, you'll have all the information to get your hotel room booked and all that. We do have a block in the hotel. So if you do that today, you can guarantee yourself that you will get in the room block and that you will have a room inside of our room block. Do that today, my friends. We'd love to have you in Austin, and we'd love to meet you and greet you and learn with you and party with you and inspire you and build you up and believe in you, and also have you do all those things for us too. This is not just we have the power and you have none. We need your energy in the room too. We need you to contribute too. We need you to be a part of what we're doing too, because that's what makes a great mastermind. There's some big names that are going to be there. There's some awesome big names that you're going to know that are going to be speaking from the stage. There's going to be 6 and 7 figure marketers in the crowd. They're learning, just learning, not even speaking. So this is the most epic mastermind in online marketing, and it's happening on January 31st through February 2nd in Austin, Texas, at a beautiful boutique hotel right on 6th Street. So not only do you get the event and the people and the education and the breakthroughs, you also get the experience of being in one of the most epic, just forward-thinking towns. It's a really unique town. It's Texas, but it's like Silicon Valley as well as New York comedy. It's really interesting, and it's going to be a blast. So meet us there for, I guarantee you, and you can come up to me at the mastermind and say, I don't think that this is true, Dave. If you don't, this will be the best event you've ever been to. I guarantee it. It always is. Our events are fantastic. They're a lot of fun. We party. We have networking. It's comfortable. There's no weirdness. Nobody's going to be, it's not a freaking, one of these weird things where they're having you run to the back every 5 minutes to sign up for some crap. It's not like that. We're there to learn, to grow, to mastermind, to have an experience. And it really is a huge group of friends coming together who want the best for each other. So meet us there. It's hard to explain. You got to experience it. And if you don't come, we'll be sad. So go and get your ticket. legendarymarketer.com/enroll. Austin, Texas, January 31st through February 2nd. We'll see you there. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Thanks again, Care. And thank you all for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.